Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So we have 6 kids dead, 12 sick in viral outbreak at a New Jersey rehabilitation center. And so this article just came in. It's out of Health and Fitness Eyewitness News, ABC 7. So a Cadence McCowan reports the outbreak happened at a rehab center. So Haskell, New Jersey, WABC, 6 children are dead and 12 others are very ill, sick, following a viral or severe viral outbreak at a rehabilitation center in New Jersey. So the State Department of Health on Tuesday confirmed 18 cases of what is called adenovirus at the Wanacue Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation in Haskell, Passaic County. So the adenoviruses usually cause mild illness, but the health department says that this outbreak is particularly severe because it is affecting medically fragile children with severely compromised immune systems. So the strain has been particularly associated with diseases in communal living facilities. So the department has said in a statement the combination of a worse strain of adenovirus together with the medical outbreak. So the conditions of the 12 victims meant any until the outbreak ends. So adenovirus is a very contagious virus, said Dr. Siegel Hasvar or Hasfar of Hackensack University Medical Center. However, in these situations, they are very contagious in long-term facilities because they are often transported by simply sneezing or coughing, but also the particles that are passed from sneezing and coughing land on other objects, and other people go and touch them. And then they touch their mouths without washing their hands. And that's how they can obtain this virus. A health department team is at a facility, and an inspection team was also there on Sunday. And so they're investigating it, and they're trying to see how they can, clean the place down and probably go through this protocol steps to let the virus take its course till it ends. The team on Sunday found minor hand washing deficiencies, and so they're blaming it on that. And the department is continuing to work closely with the facility on infection control issues. I am heartbroken by the news that several children have lost their lives in an adenovirus outbreak at the Wanacue Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation, and pray for the full recovery of the other children impacted. So this is Governor Phil Murphy who said this in a statement. I have been briefed by Dr. Elan Hall, who has assured me that the Department of Health has recommended vital measures to enhance protections against the further spread of the infection and will continue its active on-site surveillance. So I am confident that the steps being taken by the state and local officials will minimize the impact to all those who remain at the facility including patients and employees. This is an ongoing outbreak investigation. So the WannaQ Center Administrator, Rowena Bautista, issued the following statement. The WannaQ Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation has recently experienced some cases of the adenovirus in its pediatric unit. The facility promptly notified all appropriate government agencies when the virus was initially identified, including the New Jersey Department of Health, the Passaic County Department of Health, the Communicable Disease Service, and Center for Disease Control. The WannaQ Center continues to fully cooperate with these agencies and has sought their medical guidance with respect to the virus. As a result, facility staff have diligently implemented all available infection control and prevention measures in order to protect the health and safety of the WannaQ Center's residents. So the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said in an email that it is providing technical assistance to the state. So in the past 10 years, cases of severe illness and death from this type of infection found at a facility have been reported in the United States, said the CDC spokeswoman Kate Fowley in an email, though it's unclear how many deaths there have been. So a scientific paper cited by the CDC reported that in 1998, an outbreak of type 7 adenovirus at a pediatric chronic care facility in Chicago claimed the lives of 8 patients. So 2001 paper said civilian outbreaks of this type 7 infection had not been frequently reported because of lack of lab resources, and that the full impact on chronic care facilities and hospitals is likely underestimated. So this is out of the Associated Press, contributed to this report. And so what I thought was really interesting about this, it said that this outbreak has really targeted the fragile, medically fragile population really severely hard. And so what's scary about this whole thing called the adenovirus is that there are hospitals like Children's Hospital here in California, and then there are other hospitals all over, and then you have schools that also have medically fragile children. And so I'm wondering if this virus, although it happened in New Jersey, would it happen anywhere else? Because there are other places and other facilities, schools, hospitals, where there are children that are medically fragile who do the same thing. They cough, they sneeze, they mouth toys and objects. Can this type of virus hit other places? Because recently we've had an issue with the polio, and that has been a big issue. And so this right here is really serious. And I don't know if you know, there's been a lot of viral outbreaks, you know, a lot of things that have been happening lately with kids. And so it seems like something's going on where these diseases that you once thought were dormant or they were under control are now back in effect, and they are in full throttle thriving, and they are actually killing kids, or they're really impairing children and making them extremely sick. And so I'm wondering if there's not something going on that is causing this, because now it's hitting the children pretty hard. And so it's pretty serious. So I thought this article kind of coincides with some of the issues that are going on with some of these other childhood well, these diseases that are coming out. Okay, so polio has been happening a lot lately, and it's been back in the news. It is a very contagious disease as well, caused by a virus. Most children who are infected with polio have no symptoms, and that's really scary. So the virus usually spreads through contact with infected feces, stool. A child is more at risk for polio if he or she is in an area where polio is still active. And so that has been the biggest issue. And think about it. The virus usually spreads through contact with infected feces and stool. And so when you're in like child care centers, hospitals, schools where they're doing diaper changing, these are places where these children can really be hit the hardest with these type of viruses. And now you have this thing here that I just talked about, which is the 6 kids that, this viral outbreak that is rapidly spreading in the New Jersey Rehabilitation Center, where 12 children are sick, but 6 have died from this. So it's pretty serious. And so I believe there's a video that is accompanied with it. I don't know if it plays. Let's see what, there's probably a commercial before it. If not, so right now there's a commercial before the actual video. And so, yeah, I'm kind of talking over the commercial, but these diseases, these viruses are pretty serious anytime that they can kill you that fast. And
deadly viral outbreak at a medical facility in New Jersey. 6 children have died from the virus this morning, a month, that is. Another 12 young patients are sick. Eyewitnesses reporter Candace McCowan is live with the very latest on this. Candace?
Yeah, and Jerlene, you got to know this has got to be so heartbreaking for these parents. Now, the state has ordered the center to stop taking in new patients. And this is where parents sent their children expecting for them to be cared for and not where they expected them to catch a virus that would leave 6 of them dead. Now, 12 other children are sick from the adenovirus, and all 18 of the children were patients at the Wanacue Rehabilitation Center, a private for-profit facility that takes in medically fragile children with already compromised immune systems. Health inspectors found lapses in basic hand washing practices among staff members here at the rehab center. This particular strain of adenovirus, highly infectious, highly contagious, and in vulnerable patients can cause severe, sometimes fatal respiratory disease. Yeah, we know that the health department also has a team that is still here on site at the rehabilitation center. They are trying to lessen the impact of the virus on other patients.
And so that's pretty much the seriousness of this virus. And so it's extremely contagious. That's the other thing they mention. And with something like that, you really want to get that under control because it can quickly spread to other unsuspecting victims. And so these medically fragile children with severely compromised immune systems are hit the hardest by this adenovirus. And so just like I was talking about the polio, some people have done some findings on the polio. With that, it's sort of similar where, it boils down to the cleanliness and the hand washing practices of the staff and how clean the facility is as well. Because if the kids, they mouth things, or if they can, easily put things in their mouth and those things are not really washed down or they're not clean, diaper changing in these places where kids are constantly sick, anything's bound to happen. and such as these type of viruses, because they're communicably spread that fast. But anyway, with this, having said this, I'm going to let this video go. And so this is something about unrelated to this. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video go. But what do you think about this? It's so easy to spread these diseases. They're like all over the place. And it's there. It's just, you got to be very careful. But two, what if you're very careful? You know, in these facilities, a lot of times they do the hand washing, and they are trying to clean down and wipe down areas and make sure that people don't fall ill to anything such as these viruses. Could it also be too, like what they said in the article, the kids are constantly coughing and sneezing, and so, you know, you can only be so clean. You know, if you've constantly wiped down areas and you're constantly cleaning areas, but that child is really sick and they're constantly coughing and sneezing all over the place, you know, you're constantly cleaning. I mean, how much of that is going to be effective? Because it did mention that the particles, they can spread in the air. And, you know, like it said, that when people are sneezing, to the naked eye, you can't see where all of those things are, those particles are going. And sometimes people will sneeze on other people. Kids will sneeze on, cough on each other. And, you know, right then and there, even though a place is cleaning and everything, some things can't be always just, it's not a simple fix where you can just clean them. We'll just clean and wash our hands. They can do that till the cows come home. But if you constantly have kids that are ill and they're sneezing and coughing all over the place, you know, it could still land on somebody's face, and then you rub your face and then it goes to your mouth, or it could, those particles could go on you, and it's a done deal. You know, after that point, you're gonna, you know, you're bound to get it. It's just like the common cold. You know, one person comes down with it and they're sneezing and they're coughing, they're trying to stay away from others. Eventually, it seems like others end up contracting it. Well, with that, having said that, I'm going to let this video go. Yeah, this is very sad that the kids are ill, and 6 died of this. I would say fatal, very fatal viral outbreak. I would say also this is a developing story, because this could happen somewhere else. It seems like a lot of these incidences are happening lately. Thanks for listening.